Well, hey everybody, it's Tom here. Welcome back to the shop. So as you can see by the title of this video, I've got a new piece of machine for the shop. Pretty exciting. So what I'll do is I'll turn the camera around. I'll show you this piece of iron that I scored. And we'll do a walk around, talk about the good and talk about the bad. So just want to say thanks for all my new subscribers that are finding the channel. I appreciate it. Viewership is going up, subscribership is going up, so that's great. That kind of motivates me to do more videos. So again, thanks you guys for hanging in there and watching my videos. So without further ado, let's turn the camera around and show you the nice big piece of iron. You guys can see, got a great big new lathe for the shop. So this is a 1980 jet lathe. It's Taiwanese. It is 24 by 120. I've kind of had getting a bigger lathe in the shop, on the list of things to purchase. Hasn't been on the top there. I'm still looking for a nice small HBM and an iron worker, but I'm always looking for a larger lathe so I could do larger work. If you guys know Josh up there in Wisconsin, I was trying to buy his 25N Monarch lathe, but the logistics just didn't work out. Unfortunately, he's about 1,100 miles away. And most of the shipping companies that are up there that could transport it down here, they don't have any freight to pick up, so they're going to charge me not only to come down, but to go back up. And the companies down here, they only went around to basically surrounding states, so they're going to charge me to go up there and then to come down. So basically I had to pay 2,200 miles. And I got to pay rigging fees up there, rigging fees down here, so it just was not cost effective to purchase his lathe, unfortunately. So a couple weeks later, found an ad on Craigslist, a machine shop closing down just about 175 miles from here. The guy had 4 lathes, and this was his biggest lathe. So I reached out to my buddy Matt, who actually lives right around the corner from this guy. Matt is the one I bought the Abani mill from. And he was kind enough to run over there, put hands on it, check it out for me, sent me a bunch of pictures, and we talked back and forth, and we thought it was going to be a good buy, so I made the deal. Unfortunately, I don't have a big 1-ton pickup truck and a heavy-duty tilt equipment trailer, but Matt does, so thank you, Matt. So we worked out a deal, and he rigged it up, got it loaded up, and brought it up here. And this past Saturday, this past Sunday, we got it unloaded, and it's here in the shop. So it is the middle of February. It is actually a beautiful day for some reason. It's almost 60 degrees. I got the door open. So what better way to unveil this beauty? What we'll do is we'll do a walk around. Let me get the handheld and show you the good and show you the bad. Well, I guess let's go ahead and start the headstock. So it is a D18 cam lock. The spindle through hole is not too bad, respectable. Let me see, I had to make some notes here. 2 5/8, so that's not too bad. 3-phase, guys can't see in there, I need to add the light. 10 horsepower motor. What is nice is, all the metal plates are legible. A lot of times, especially lathes set up like this where you've got a shelf and you've got your machinery tags on here. These are really worn because it's a perfect place to put your tools and your oil can and your knocker and whatnot. So these are in really good shape, so pleased about that. This lathe will do from 4 to 80 TPI threads per inch, so good threading range. The speed, it'll go from 25 RPMs all the way up to 1500. It's got a good breakdown for the lower speeds. It does make a big jump from 840 to 1500. Not sure I want to spin something very large at 1500, but it does have that capability. Unfortunately, it came with a a 12-inch 3-jaw, which is kind of small for this machine. It is made in Poland, so a decent chuck. Now this is a gap bed, so if you pull the gap, you can swing about 31.5 inches. So it does give it a a little more versatility, which is nice. Now, unfortunately, for some reason, we're going to call him Gorilla Guy. Gorilla Guy liked to run this lathe because, as you can see, he gronked the cam lock to a point where it broke. I mean, I like, putting a little extra oomph on these things just like the next guy just to make sure it's tight. But when it's tight, you ain't got to gronk it 3 more times, because this is what happens. So this is a little bit of a bummer. Hopefully this will be not too hard of a fix. And then Gorilla Guy was over here. And of course, keeping on with the theme, we had to bend this tab that locks. Let's come over here. Let's bend this tab that locks. I mean, goodness gracious, dude. Your standard carriage does have a turret style tool post, which I don't like. I will be removing that, putting the large DA size tool post on here. Backlash is good on the compound, only about 5 thou, so that is nice. Now the bad thing is the cross slide. Got a lot of wear, so you come over here, we've got about 160 thousandths of backlash. So yeah, that's gonna have to be addressed. So either the new lead screw is gonna have to be made, or lead screw and the nut, depending on how the wear is. But otherwise, the waves are really good. I mean, you can feel with your finger just a little bit of wear there and scratching, but you can't get your fingernail in it. You can't feel it. So that's a plus. And coming down to the tailstock. So this is a Morris taper number 5 tailstock. And it goes out 6 inches. And then again, like I said, Gorilla Guy decided to operate this. So, you should pull this up, and she should lock right here where the cam is, but Gorilla Guy decided to push it past this point, so it goes all the way down here to lock. So that ain't right. So we'll have to address that. Let's see, you guys did see that it had a foot brake and 2 chip pans. Machine does have coolant, but they never operated it, so that's what we're working on now. So the coolant pump, let me get a light here for you guys. So coolant pump is in there, so that's what I was checking out. It does run 220, and I was tracing out the wires because we do have a little bit of an electrical issue that we got to sort out. Because Gorilla Guy thought it'd be easier just to run the lathe with no switches and just put a knife switch on the wall for power on. So, which is fine if that's what you want to do, but I don't know why they decided to go ahead and remove some of the wiring on the inside. They could have just left it as is. So, doing a little bit of tracing, figuring out what we got going on. So they're lucky they didn't have a fire. Look at that gorgeous piece of work there. I swear some people just don't take care of their equipment, do they? So this is the wire that should go to the front, and I think I got it figured out. This is for the coolant pump there, and this is for the on-off switch. So moving around, yeah, a little bit filthy, but overall said she's solid. This is where the on-off switch and the coolant switch should have been, with the appropriate idiot lights to show it's on. Instead, they just removed them and put this delete plate, so get a couple switches on. So like I said, it's just got a couple minor things to fix. It is grimy, it needs a big cleanup. But overall, I think it's going to be a good lathe, and I said it gives me that extra capacity. But what's a lathe if you don't get all the extra stuff to go with it to make it complete? And of course it did. So coming over here, we've got a big 4-jaw. That's about 18.5-inch diameter 4-jaw. Came with the factory steady rest. Came with the factory fall rest in there. And they made a larger steady rest. So that's cool. And in that box there, I got the machinery feet and some pads. And in this box here are the original change gears. Never been used, never been out of the original box. And then also it came with some additional tooling. So I've got some Morse taper adapters, 5-to-4 and 5-to-3. And some hold downs. They're probably using that on the 3 or 4 jaw. Some big centers. Big bull nose there. Got a nice Jacob's chuck drill. So that's sweet. And we do have a nice Morse taper number 5. So I can clean out that tailstock. Just give it a light ream. That's a finishing reamer. And then a couple big tooling. Big drill. Big Armstrong number 5. Some boring bars. And this odd kit here is missing the arbor, unfortunately. So you could obviously change whatever you wanted. And this is not a Morse taper number 3. I'm not sure what this taper is. It's an odd taper. But, you know, you had your choice for different centers. So pretty cool that got all this stuff with it, because that, you know, that helps make the lathe complete. Well, there you go. There's a quick walk around of the lathe. So nice big girl to be able to do some big work. It's going to be a while before you see it in the video, because, you know, obviously it needs a good cleaning. We got to fix some of the obvious stuff that we can fix, you know, right now. Also, I don't have a way to power this thing. My rotary phase converter is only a 10 horsepower, so we need at least a 20 or bigger for this. So that's going to be the next purchase, is to get a larger rotary phase converter. And we got the other 200 amp panel that we're going to wire in and finish up the electrical. So it'll probably be this summer before you see this baby in action. But, you know, hey, pretty cool, isn't it? So excited that found this, and it was right around the corner. So with that, it's going to be a wrap. I appreciate it, guys. Thanks for hanging in with me. Thanks for watching the video. We'll see you next time. Take care.